Alright, boys and girls, in this layout update, I'm going to be replacing some more turnouts, more track updates, some scenic elements I'll be adding, and a couple of test runs op sessions. So if you guys are interested, stay tuned and watch this video. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome to my channel. This is BNSF 6951. I am Vinny and I will be your host. If you guys are interested in tips, tricks, and techniques on model railroading, then please hit that subscribe button for more videos like this. Also, give me a thumbs up. That'll help my analytics with YouTube. With all that being said, let's get on with this video. See you in a bit. Alright guys, as you can see, I'm showing you a picture here of the prototype, and at the very top you can see where it says Mold Base Yard. That is the main entrance to the yard, and then below that you have the I-10 freeway, which runs east and west, and you can see that it goes over the yard about midway. And below that we have Love's Distribution, and that's pretty much prototypical the way I have it set up, except that they have stub-in tracks, I have run-through tracks. And then we have a turntable. Yes, sir, we have a turntable. They turn those locomotives around right there, and at one point they used to have a roundhouse. And then over to the right side, you see North 19th Avenue, and that avenue runs pretty much all the way from my house all the way down to the yard here. Anyhow, I thought I'd just give you guys a little update on what this yard configuration looks like, so you would know if mine is prototypical or not. And those cars right under the word Lowe's Distribution, I have no clue what those are. They are not there anymore. They look like they might be hoppers, but I can't zoom in any closer than that because this was a picture that I got off the internet. Anyhow, with all that being said, I think we have one more item to do on this layout update, and we'll get back to you in a few minutes. Bye for now. Alright guys, on my March 31st live stream, I started to do the installation of the turnouts here. This is going to be layout update number 2 as far as room number 1 is concerned. I did take 2 turnouts that were here. I took those out and I'm going to reposition them onto this side. As you see, I have already done. And the reason for that was because when I had the turnouts here and I tried to put my stanchion here, these guys, the 2 ground throws, were way too close. So with all that being said, with the stanchion here, which I have it marked off as you can see, I can put 1 ground throw here and 1 ground throw here and have plenty of room on each side. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and complete this part of the update by installing this track here and this track here, and then the two industrial track that are going to go there. I will do that off camera, so stay tuned and we will be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, I have 2 more turnouts installed, as you can see right there, and my petroleum facility is going to be good. 4 tankers in there, that's all I wanted. Those 2 stanchions I have there, I don't remember where I got them from, but they are a metal kit that I put together and many years ago. But it's still around, so I might just use it in that area right there. Anyhow, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tackle this piece right here. Once we get that piece done, we'll give everything a little test run. Well, in fact, we're going to give this a test run right now. Alright guys, I decided to make some more changes on this part of the layout back here because those turnouts in the back right there have always given me problems, and I told you I was going to take some of it out, and I had already did. I did make these 3 track right here into stub end track, so I'm going to take those out, and I decided that instead of having an in and an out from that side, I'm going to take all of that out from here all the way back to the turnout. So I'm going to put a straight piece of track back there, and then this will be my arrival departure track right here. So the train will come in, drop his cars here, disconnect locomotives. Well, it's going to be a different turnout there. It'll come back out, and that will be his runaround track, and then from there he can get back into the engine facility. So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and attempt to get those 2 turnouts out of there and put a piece of track in. It's kind of tough because I'm kind of leaning on my stomach and chest, so we'll see how it goes. We'll be back in a little bit. Alright boys and girls, as you can see, I've got the turnouts taken out and a new track put in place. Also, I have this place all wired up, so we're going to take a little test run around this loop right here, all the way around to about there, and then we'll come back. Then we're going to do a mini op session. So with all that being said, let's get my locomotives fired up. And these are my 2 SD40s, my favorite locomotives. And let's see, we got to put the guy that way. And we'll go ahead. Oh, wrong throttle. Come on. Track is dirty. Come on, you can do it. Alright, I think we'll come back now. Something's not working right. Uh-oh. Come on. Somebody's not running. I think that front locomotive is not running. Huh. This Vinny Vid production brought to you by Yankee Dabbler. For all your model railroad needs, check out Yankee Dabbler. Don't forget, 7% discount with BNSF 6951. And by Highways and Byways, awesome street graphics for your roads and streets on your model railroad layout. If you guys are looking for sophisticated model railroad electronics, Logic Rail Technologies has what you need. For a 5% discount on certain items, use code BNSF 6951. Alright guys, the next step for me to do is to remove all of this all the way down to right there. And it's going to be replaced with all of this up here. So, with that being said, this is going to be a big project. I can't mess up the wiring because it's part of the reversing loop and all of that stuff, so I have to be careful when I pull my wires out where they belong. Anyhow, let's see what's going to happen here. So stay tuned and we will be back in a little bit. Alright guys and gals, we're in train room number 1 now, and as you can see, I have replaced all that stuff that was in there before. So now I have a Atlas number 7, Atlas number 10, Atlas number 10, and it goes on. Now, you guys can see what that says right there. Way back in the day, when I was first putting this together and I started having trouble with the turnouts there, I said to myself, if I ever take this apart, I'm going to go ahead and add a curved turnout in there. And so that's what I'm going to do. So there's the curved turnout. And what that's going to do is, it's going to give me this outside track right here for my continuous run, which means I could go from this track here straight across here, eliminate that turnout. Because what was happening, the train that was doing on a continuous run would come through here and go through 1, 2, 3, 4 turnouts, 5 turnouts to get back onto mainline. So that's going to eliminate some trouble, some potential derailments. Now, as I had feared, I would probably wind up with some sort of an electrical problem when I did all of this. But, as you can see, I have wires there, and I did mark it black and red. Sorry about that. They are not hooked up neither here or underneath. This yellow wire is not hooked up. It needs to go to the inside rail here. This black wire was the same thing. It was on the inside rail here, and the same thing with this yellow wire. And again, I don't know why I had it insulated here with power feeds and then insulated again there. So I don't know what's going on with that. But anyhow, guess what? I have a short. Yes, sir. Sorry about that. So anyhow, I started the process of elimination, and I think everything that is supposed to be hooked up here electrically is not hooked up, and it is isolated from the rest of the layout there. Those 2 tracks are not even hooked up to anything. This track is not hooked up to anything. And then, like I said, we have the insulator here. So when I turn on my system and I get a short, that would eliminate this whole section. Would you agree with me or not? Anyhow, I think maybe when I was cutting track or something like that, maybe a piece flew off and shorted in one of the rails someplace. I need to find it because now I'm going crazy. We'll be back in a little bit. Alright guys and gals, when you have an electrical problem, usually what you need to do is go to the last place that you worked on. But in this situation, I had just run trains on this layout, oops, before I actually started taking stuff apart. Then I took everything apart and it's not connected anywhere, as I showed you guys, and it's still not connected. I went ahead and I went in the other room and I disconnected the wires in there, and I started with disconnecting wires in here and this and that and the other thing. Anyhow, the final last thing I did was to check the wiring here, which is one of the last things that I did, and the wiring down in here. I took them apart, the short went away. I said, okay, so I'm looking at it, and I said, well, I don't see anything wrong with it, you know, so I hooked it back up, same way it was before I took it apart. Guess what? The short went away. So, I'm kind of confused right now. I don't know if it's fixed or it's not fixed, so we'll have to see. Anyhow, I did, as you guys can see that, starting to add the track here. I did take the turnout that was here, I took it out. So this section right here, these 3 track right here, are for Love's distribution. Now, over here, I got to install these 2 turnouts. One is going to be for Smith Pipe and Steel, and the other is going to be for Sam Plumbing. As you can see, I got them spaced out pretty good. Well, I don't want the ground throw to be in the middle of the road. I'm going to adjust the road and bring it further this way. I have enough room to add just enough room to put the ground throw in between the road and the track. Anyhow, I'm going to go ahead and start hooking some of this stuff up and see if it actually works. Alright, so we'll be back here in a few minutes. Bye for now. Alright, boys and girls, this is how my new road's going to be, and I am skimping on the size of the road just so I can make everything fit. Like I said, I want to put the ground throw between the track and the road, and that's what I am accomplishing right here. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, I had decided a long time ago, just as I did with that turnout, that I want to replace this road. So we're going to replace all the roads in here. And then back there, there's another road right there. Now, I'll explain to you guys that I know 100% that the configuration of this right here is not right. This road should be a 90 towards that road, and that road that's back there is the road that goes on the angle. I just don't have enough room to do it that way, so I had to improvise and do it the way that it is here. I will be redoing that road back there also, and then all my roads on a level will be all new with highways and byway striping. Small road right there, all scenic in here. And that last building way back there, I don't think that's going to be there. I know there's a strip of stores right there. I'm not sure if that's what they're going to look like. Anyhow, let's get on with the rest of this video, and we'll talk to you guys later. Bye for now. Alright guys, as you can see, I've added some blacktop to some of the scenes here. That's the Love's Distribution Center, that's the office, and I had John Tanzillo take a look and see if he could build me a couple of truck loading platforms for me. I did install those turnouts right there, and I'll give you a demonstration how that's going to work in a little bit. Put a street and a blacktop for the train station. Also, I painted the roads back there, but unfortunately I ran out of paint because this guy took up a lot of paint. So he's got the first coat of paint on him, and it's looking good so far. This is all organized. Again, I ran out of paint for this road, and I did not make any of the roads back there yet. I did, however, clean up this area and this area. And I want to thank Dave Schenkel for figuring out what the short circuit was on my layout. Apparently, I had the insulators in the wrong place. I had them on this side. They should have been on that side. Anyhow, it's all taken care of. The layout is running. And I'll show you what's going on here in a little bit. So, I'm working on the building here for Further Zona because it's got some pieces knocked off of it, so I'm putting that back together. Anyhow, we'll come back around here. And as you can see back there, I'm going to be adding some backdrop buildings, as well as along the side here, I'm going to be adding some backdrop buildings. So I'm ready. Those buildings are actually scratch built by me a while ago. Where you see these tanks right here, they will be replaced with Z-scale tanks. That's right, Z-scale. Anyhow, I think that's going to be it for this video. Anyhow, we're going to give you one little run. I'm going to show you how we will operate with 3 locomotives, bringing a string of cars in here. So stay tuned, and we will be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, so we're going to do this little test here and see how it's all going to work out. What I have is 3 of my largest locomotives, which are SD70As and a couple of Gilos, and we're going to run them into the yard. I have a 14 car consist on here. Some of the cars might have been dropped off in the other room, but we're going to get this going. Let me show you how this is going to work out. So here we go. Now before he gets to those crossovers, or just as he gets across the crossovers, he'll drop the cars. And those crossovers do not have any ground throws on them yet, so we may have a derailment here. But anyhow, as you can see, the locomotive is going to come in, and he's going to hold short of the turnout, which should be right about there. Then what will happen is the conductor will get out, and he will uncouple the cars. He'll bring the locomotives forward. And we are good right there. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, again, like I'm saying, because we don't have any control over those turnouts. So now, these locomotives are ready to go back to the engine facility. And so let's see if we can get that going. Sorry about that. I'm going to love this when it goes under the turntable. I mean, under the I-10 freeway. And so this would be a typical run op session. And all we have to do now is hope that all of this is going to work. All right. Sorry about the creaky thingamabobber. All right, we got to go across one more turnout, and then we'll switch the turnouts and start heading back to the engine facility. All right, that's good right there. I don't know if you guys are on camera right now. That one's going to go there. All right, so let's get our power into the engine facility. So here we go. And we do have a little bit of a situation here. Uh-oh, I didn't have a turnout. All right, we'll just do these. I didn't have a turnout set. See that one too. All right, I'll be back in a minute. All right, unfortunately, the conductor forgot to flip a turnout. So now we're heading down the track to the engine facility. And we're going to pull them into the fueling area. Hopefully. Come on. All right. And unfortunately, the turnout did not hold the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. He'll just pull into that yard, and if we had room, he'd park it there. But for now, that's it. Hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video, and as always, I'm going to back him up. I'm sorry, guys, but I want to get this the way I planned it to happen. So I'm going to do this, and I see what I did wrong. Okay. Let's fix this now. This guy needs to get flipped there. And then this guy, let me put this pin in here so it holds it. All right, so now we should be going into the right track. Here we go. All right, hope you guys and gals enjoyed this video, and as always, your questions, comments, input, subs, shares, and likes are always welcome. For now, that's all, folks. PNSF 6951, our Vinny Vid production, out for now.